Thank you. Amen. Now, today we're going to do a part 3 of our series, and the series is on the principle for effective living. Try to take the summertime to talk to ourselves and begin to understand what it takes to be effective in our day-to-day life. Now, today we're going to be looking at the principle of discovering your significance. It's so important that we understand this from the very light of God. Now, I say this at the beginning, that principles are natural laws. They are laws that if you apply, you will succeed. If you disregard, you will pay for it. There are rules, there are laws that happens, that laws that if we obey, it doesn't matter where you are. If you are in the remote part of this world, if you abide by this same principle, you will succeed. If you carry Jesus in your head and sleep in the church from morning till evening, Monday through Sunday, and disregard this principle, your life will be frustrated. So there are things that we don't want to ignore. There are key things. And that's why we're discussing these things today. We're going to be discussing more of those today. Principles are natural laws formulated and acceptable by the mind. They are natural laws. They are the laws. Well, I mean, Webster, this is the definition of Webster's definition of principle. And the reason why Webster will use that word natural law, because these are people that doesn't understand God. They don't understand spiritual things. So they put nature. When they're talking about God, they talk about nature. So anytime you see them talk nature, they're talking about Jehovah. Amen. So they are natural laws. They are the laws of God, formulated, and when accepted by the mind, makes the life profitable. When you say, well, I'm not going to abide by this principle that Pastor George is talking about, I don't care about this principle. Guess what? You will care when your life begins to take out turn. The things that prayer, as much as I love prayer, as much as I do prayer, I cannot. If I violate these principles, I'll find myself in big trouble. So they are natural laws. They can work anywhere. Amen. They have no. In fact, I say God is not a respecter of person, but God respects principles. God works by principles. So if an unbeliever comes in and begins to abide by these principles, we'll see them successful. And that's the reason why you're seeing people like Bill Gates, even though they don't come to church, but they're very successful, and you're asking the question, why are they successful? They apply the principles of nature. They use the principle of God well. The first principle we talked about was the principle of positioning. It is your positioning that determines what you enjoy in life. If you are not rightly positioned, things will occur, but you will be found wanting. And the principle of positioning talks about the principle of opportunity. That everything about life is about opportunity. And God gives every human being present on planet Earth. We have equal opportunity. We have 24 hours to use. You can either waste it, or you can take advantage of it and use it. Those that are poor, those that are downcast today, they're not downcast because they were born without brain. They're not downcast because they were just people that, they were, for some reason, they were born in the wrong location. No, they are downcast, or they are low today in the society because they ignore or they refuse to see opportunity when it comes. Every one of us seated here have equal opportunity. The wisest king on earth, Solomon, will write and says, this race is not to the swift, nor battle to the strong, nor knowledge or nor skill. Can you give it to me? Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse number 11. I want to go. We're going to the third principle that we want to check. And I want you to see this for, because without this, it says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift. The guy that is fast, the guy is saying that it's not to the guy that is very fast that wins the race. Nor the battle to the strong. I mean, naturally, we will think that the guy that is the strongest will win the battle. But Solomon says, no, it doesn't work that way. No what? No bread to the wise. It doesn't work that way. I've seen a lot of professors that are beggars. It doesn't work that way. No what? No riches to men of understanding. It doesn't work that way. Nor yet favor to men of skill. But look at his answer. But time and chance. Opportunity. Is the opportunity that you seize. Is what determines your position. Opportunity can either be seized or missed.